Right now, something absolutely massive and completely unexpected is happening in the crypto market. And this could be the start of a game-changing tidal wave of new capital coming into our markets. And yes, you are early, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about the kind of event that could send shockwaves through the entire crypto space. And if you're invested or even watching from the sidelines, you're going to want to understand what's happening and how this could potentially impact the markets in a massive, massive way. In this video, we'll dive into exactly what is happening and why it's so significant and how this massive influx of capital could affect everything from Bitcoin to altcoins. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, most importantly, my and your portfolio. This is one you definitely don't want to miss. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited. It is the bull market. It feels good. We've been waiting for 3 years for this. I think it's funny in the comments. You guys, someone said, this guy's always on coke or something. No, when you're literally dragging your feet through a brutal bear market for 3 years, and then you've been waiting for this to come, it feels good, right? It feels really good. And if you guys have been here for the whole time, through the thick and the thin, destroy that like button. If you're new to the channel, what's up? My name's Chasse. I've been in crypto for 12 years. My goal here is to make sure that you guys are absolutely crushing it, make as much money as possible in this bull market, and leave with as much money as possible. That's right, guys. Let's get into it. Without further ado, here we go. So I was just looking back on this chart. You guys remember this? When we were just, remember when we were just looking at this thing and I was like, oh, okay, 160 days. It should start breaking up right now. And that was literally the bottom, basically, of when we started coming back up, and then bam, 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 breakthrough. So yeah, and now we're good. We're above $90,000, sitting pretty heavy. And yesterday wasn't huge, but it was still $500 million that came in through the ETFs. That's pretty good. And Bitcoin, and for the Ethereum ETFs, it was also a really good day. It looks like it was the second biggest day for Ethereum ETFs in history. So and it's crazy. And Ethereum's really not moving yet. But remember how long it took for Bitcoin ETFs to accumulate a little bit before Bitcoin started running super hard. So, just expect people to ETH to lag a little bit more. But remember what I said, Ethereum is the institutional altcoin, right? So Bitcoin Archive says, Justin, Bitcoin ETFs are catching up to gold ETFs for total assets. 80 billion in Bitcoin, 126 billion for gold. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. This has just been 11 months, right? Give it like 4 more months. Let's see. Someone mark this and let me know in 4 months. You think I'm crazy, but just watch this accelerate, in my opinion, right? We're looking toward like April, right? That's what I'm thinking. And this is something that Cointelegraph posted. I was just trolling Peter Schiff. Peter's actually a really good guy, but it's fun because he's so anti-Bitcoin and so, like to poke fun at him. I just said, hey, Peter Schiff, maybe about time you join us. And it says, bullish, Bitcoin's correlation with gold hits 11-month low. As gold drops 5%, will Bitcoin see substantial gains this week? Whoo, must be tough to be Peter right now. Must be super painful. And remember, guys, a couple of days ago, we talked about how Bitcoin was below silver over here. And I said, by the time you watch this video, I don't know if any of you guys went and checked it out, it would be above silver. Not only did it surpass silver, but it blew by Vanguard as well. And it's literally right on the tails of Saudi Aramco. In fact, let's try refreshing and see if it's above it yet. Nah, not quite. But very, very closely, maybe by the time you watch this, it'll be above Saudi. Right? Saudi's worth what? The Saudi Aramco, the basically government-ran oil company, is worth 1.8 trillion, and Bitcoin right now is 1.794 trillion. It will surpass it by the time you watch this, or by tomorrow, probably, likely, right? And then it's right on Google's butt, and then not too far off from Amazon. And Microsoft, they've got their vote coming up in 3 weeks, December 10th. December 10th, if you guys don't know, Microsoft's going to vote. The shareholders at the board meeting, there was a discussion. Hey, do we want to do the smart thing like Michael Saylor did in MicroStrategy? Do we want to use all the significant crappy fiat cash we have on hand? And do we want to put some of it in Bitcoin? And they said, well, let's take it to a vote to shareholders, right? So that's coming up soon too, guys, right? And then, of course, it just climbs higher and higher and higher. My guess is let's make some predictions here. My guess is, I think by May, by May we're double. But by May we're Bitcoin's number 2 on this chart. We'll see. Let's see. Okay, so Bitcoin is $90,000 with only 0.5% of the world using it. Let that sink in. So Ryan says, today Matt Hogan and I gave a crypto presentation to 350 financial advisors from Morgan Stanley to Wells Fargo. We surveyed the audience and, listen to this, 77% of them do not allocate to crypto. So yeah, I say we're still early. And then Daniel down here says only 23% of advisors who chose to go to a crypto presentation have an allocation. Most still aren't bothered enough to even go to the presentation. And then Ryan says, yeah, that's a good point. So really, really, really still early. Guys, everyone, we're still super, super, super duper early. I know maybe it doesn't feel like it. Do everything that you can in your power to accumulate Bitcoin right now. And I'm working on something I'm going to bring you guys really, really soon, which is exciting. It's a way, because what we want to do, guys, what we want to do here is we want to use meme coin profits, altcoin profits, and we want to roll them into Bitcoin. You want to measure your wealth, not in dollars, but in Bitcoin. That is it. That's the key. So in my life, my objective is not to have as many dollars as possible, but my objective is to have as many Bitcoin as possible. And that's always been exactly how I've lived my life for the past 12 years. That's how I'm going to continue to live my life. So I'm really excited. Probably in the next couple days, I'll be able to bring you guys a solution that helps you grow your Bitcoin in a very safe and sustainable way. So again, if you haven't liked the show yet, like that, because that's really exciting. So moving on. Tether in the past 6 days has minted $7 billion. We know that when the total supply of stablecoins increases, the price goes up as well. And in the last, we've had $6 billion printed. And of course, the price is going up. One of the best indicators we know of a bull run and the Bitcoin price to go up is when the Tether supply increases. And as we can see from CryptoLark, that Bitcoin search is surging on Google Trends. Looks like retail is starting to wake up. Hallelujah. And I don't know if it was because we had a great title and thumbnail yesterday with good content, right? By the way, hit the notification bell if you're not subscribed, if you don't get your notifications on these videos because they're time sensitive. But views are starting to increase, thank God, right? We had a great turnout yesterday, except for this Benjamin Cowan. If you're listening, if you're watching this, you need to add my name to the list. Yep. Anyway, so Yetta over here says Bitcoin is at 88,000, well, it's at 91,000 now. And YouTube views to these crypto YouTube channels are now averaging 1/3 of they were running in 2021. 1/3. So pretty substantial. Getting back there. So the Google search terms are up. Yesterday we saw Coinbase app was number 10, I believe. So it's time, guys. Like it is time to be locked in, guys, right? It is time. And Mustache over here says, after more than 3 years, the total market cap of crypto has made new all-time highs, right? So just because Bitcoin crushed through all-time highs, it didn't mean that our total market cap did. And now the total market cap of the industry above $3 trillion. It topped out at $3 trillion last bull run, and now we are above it. So congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. And Cold-Blooded Chiller over here says, you don't short price discovery. And price discovery, for those of you guys who don't know, is essentially when the price goes above all-time highs and it just keeps running and running and running. And people don't know, there's no like resistance to kind of compare it to, right? So that's what price discovery is. You don't sell price discovery yet. You don't let price discovery cause you fear. You relax knowing that there's so much demand for your market that you're cruising through uncharted waters. It's relax and get a hobby while you get richer season. And so that is true, right? For me, I do like chasing, I like finding gems, right? I like finding gems, finding things that are going to pop and outperforming the market, right? I like doing that. So, we've talked about a couple different opinions on, the past couple of days of people saying it's relax and watch your bags grow season. Yeah, it's true. But, I think if you're aggressively into the market, and navigating through the waters, like what we are going to try to consolidate and not talk about a tremendous amount of tokens on this channel. We don't really want to do that, right? We want to have high conviction and then place our bets, but we're going to try to have a nice balance, right? So Benjamin Cowan over here says, I have good news, degens, that's us, yep. Alt and Bitcoin pairs are now only 26% off their lows. Essentially, this is the Bitcoin dominance kind of compared to altcoins. And what he's saying is that essentially, it typically comes down and, once it gets to down here, it is usually crazy up from there, right? That was a 2017 bull run, altcoin season, 2021 altcoin season. And it's lining up, pretty exactly like just January 2021, boom, altcoin season, right? All the way until 2022. And we're getting down here to the lows. Remember, so this is like when Bitcoin, back in 2020, when Bitcoin was dominating, and then boom, flip the switch, altcoin season. It was IDOs. This season is going to be LCOs. It's going to be everything. This is why January is the date I think that things are going to run like crazy altcoins. So don't give up on your altcoins, right? They're not dead yet. They're not dead, right? Memes aren't going to dominate the entire, they will be prominent the entire season, but your altcoins will too, and the good ones will emerge that are giving people good entry points, like the LCOs happening on Paid Network and the projects that Commonwealth are getting into as well. So Zen over here says, think BTC dominance tops here. Bitcoin all-time high break, plus Doge pump, plus WIF, plus Pepe Coinbase listings, all critical pieces of retail realizing that crypto pump is happening. A huge inflow of fresh fiat about to enter the system looking for the next Bitcoin or the next Doge. The mythical alt season begins. We're very, very close to alt season, guys. What I think is really interesting here is that in the previous bull markets, we didn't have all of the institutional capital coming in to Bitcoin, right? And for the remainder of the season and maybe for the foreseeable future, depending on the global adoption of Bitcoin and what happens right now, it seems like it's going to be adopted globally, but I don't know for the rest of the markets around the world, but I think so. So you're going to have a bunch of retail, that's people like you and me coming in the market, that think Bitcoin's too expensive, right? They don't want to pay $100,000 for a token. They want to pay 0.0000001 cents, unit bias. Remember, we talked about unit bias. That's what they want to pay for tokens, for meme coins, for altcoins. That's why all altcoins have a supply of like 1 billion or 6 billion or 69 billion or whatever, right? Because it looks cheap. Yep. And Coinbase listed Pepe and Dog with hats. Congratulations. We called Dog with hats very, very early and Pepe very, very early. Breaking, Robinhood lists meme coin Pepe as well. Robinhood listing is a gold mine. So interesting. Give FWOG, it's FWOG over here. And as Crash says, Crash is a really great guy, basically the biggest advocate of Brett as well. And he says, the order, Doge, Shib, Pepe, and then Brett is up next. I would have to agree with this. Brett, I have a pretty significant position in, and I think it's going to absolutely crush moving forward, right? I'll show you Brett in just a second here. But look at this. This is super interesting. So friendly reminder of what happened to Shiba when Coinbase listed it for trading. And remember, this is interesting. You have to understand this. We're in a completely different American environment than we were before, right? Coinbase was terrified. They couldn't even list things before very well. Now you have a more friendly, not now, but in January, so basically now, you're gonna have a more friendly regulatory environment where Coinbase will be able to list more assets and Americans will be able to participate more easily with less fear of prosecution. So this should even be more insane, right? And what I'm about to talk about is Pepe, but Pepe was listed on Coinbase. Brett, which is the #1 meme on Base, isn't even listed on Coinbase yet. So I think Brett's going to like 100, I think Brett's going to like $75, $100 billion this cycle. But look at this. So check this out. This is Shiba, right? This is Shiba. And this was a Coinbase listing over here. Bam, pop. Coinbase listing, whoop, boom, up here, a little bit of a correction. And then, as you can see, it was like it topped out right here at this 1.5. And then it would have doubled by here. And then up and up and up and up. All the way up here, right? So here's like today for Pepe, right? So maybe what we can expect from Pepe is like from here to here, right? And what maybe we can expect from Brett is like from here to like half of this or something like that, right? Which is still huge in my opinion. So Pepe, Brett, and the moral of the story is, and there's a nice little correction in the 1 hour here, but the moral of the story is this is CoinGecko has created a new category, essentially frog themed coins by market cap, right? You got Pepe, Brett, Turbo, I think Turbo is kind of interesting over here. Look at the trading volume on Turbo, but that's already on Binance though. It's a thing, right? It's already on Binance. When you have something like FWOG, for example, that's not, Pepe coin, that's not, it just, and Apu is really good volume here. Even like the Chinese one, Pepe. But anyway, this is the whole new asset class. So maybe there's a conversion, right? And okay, all right. So we have this crazy run on Pepe coin a few days ago, right? And after you get some crazy run like this, of course, you're gonna have some sort of correction. This is completely healthy and natural. And now starts time, as you can see from this green candle, it came all the way down here, boom, correcting. And now for the next leg up, send it higher. So, and I know there's some crazy things going on with the based ecosystem as well. I'll talk to you about that at the end. Now, what else is interesting? So, guys, I'm not always like, I don't always call the best, but FWOG over here, I bought it at like so cheap, 15 million or something. And then I thought, this is so dumb, and I sold it. Oh, because what is it doing now? Now it's at 700 million. But as you can see from Kaito, it's got crazy market share. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like top 10 when it comes to market share, mind share. But in the meme coin category, it's top 5, right? And it's climbing the ranks over here. So, and it doesn't have any major listings yet, right? So if we go over here and we look at FWOG by markets, you can see it doesn't have any major exchange listings, none. It doesn't have KuCoin, doesn't have OKX, doesn't have Binance, doesn't have Coinbase, doesn't have, and I think these are coming. I think that we're going to start to see a lot of, it doesn't have Robinhood. It doesn't have all these other things either. So it's gotten to a $700 million market cap, and it doesn't have these major exchange listings yet. It's coming. It's definitely coming, but we'll have to see. So, if you're if you want like these more like blue chippy, FWOG is evolving into this blue chip kind of meme coin over here, right? And as you can see, top Solana meme coins by market cap, man, Peanut, so crazy, right? But go TCS over 7th, like just unbelievable still right now, the meme coin rotation, unbelievable. And as you can see, Robinhood relisted Sol, Cardano, XRP, and adding Pepe to its platform. So Aptos, we're talking about Aptos a while, right? Aptos made a tweet saying one of these is not like the other. Talking about Sui, right? They're competing. Aptos is the only non-EVM chain to bring BlackRock's BIDL fund to life. Why? Because money moves better on Aptos, right? And so Aptos is trying to be this DeFi. It makes perfect sense, right? Aptos, I'll give it and I think that's a huge market, right? It's not as sexy and as fun as what Sui is doing, and that's why retail and that's why I think Sui will run harder, faster. But when it comes down to big money, I look at Securitas, which I invested into. Pat on the back for you, Kyle. So yeah, big money, DeFi, Aptos is going after that market. I think they're going to crush it, right? And just so you guys know, if you're new here, remember my barbell strategy, right? We put a lot of our capital in the more secure, less risky things, although we want to be very risk on for the next 4 months. Very risk on. So even if you think like, your more risky things are okay, but you definitely want to have things in the less risky. Crypto itself is risky, right? So anyway, in the description below, guys, there'll be this top L1 ecosystems for the bull run. You could check out this list that I made as well. And some more, as we're shifting off to more altcoin news, Sui got an ETN in Europe from Van Eck, which is like an exchange traded, it's like an ETF basically, right? But it's Europe, big deal. But the big deal is that Sui is at all-time highs. Essentially, let's refresh and see if it's still at all-time highs. Okay, not yet, but today it hit all-time highs just 6 hours ago, right? And the Sui ecosystem was crushing. And Binance listed Hippo from Sui, the #1 meme coin on Sui, which I'm not in right now. Probably not going to be, I don't know. But Binance listed the futures. It hasn't listed spot for it yet, but it's always the first step in potentially listing spot, which is a good sign for the rest of the altcoins or the rest of the memes over here in Sui. As you guys can see, these things are all running super hard. I just think it's a really good, like the entire market cap for Sui memes is only 394 million. It's insane, right? And if it continues to run super hard, which I think it's going to do, these things are all still bargains, even though they've been running like crazy. We're way ahead of the game, guys. Way ahead of the game. There's tons of room for things to happen over here, but I think this ecosystem is going to completely explode, right? And one might just get super rich playing only Sui memes, right? And I think AAA is going to be the one. Even Ansem says, hey. That's the AAA cap, by the way. So AAA on Sui is now past over 10,000 holders. Congratulations, AAA. As we've been talking about, high conviction win for me over there. I like the AAA community. And I bought all on open market, all the way down from like few million, 9 million, 12 million, kept buying it. I don't have the massive supply, but I got a good bag of it. And I'm rooting for this one. It's my, yeah, you guys know. and Seal Dog, this is what we talked about the other day. I still don't know too much about it because it was just yesterday, but I thought it's still funny. And we talked about it like 1.7. It's now at 3.7. So it did do like over 3 or 4x from when we talked about in the show. Congratulations, guys. And it's still holding up pretty well. Seal Dog, it's freaking hilarious. It's still super risky, guys. It's still very degenerate, very, very, very risky. Only 839 followers. Probably half of them are you, or all of them. So, but it's hilarious. Look at this thing. Anyway, I asked you guys so good to know. Thank you guys for commenting. I really appreciate it. Look at all these comments here. I asked you guys, you want to know what the degen, the filth is. And I think that it's as long as you guys take your own responsibility, right? And we remember that, then I'm happy to bring it to you guys, right? And I asked if you want to see the degen, low risk, high risk, low market cap memes, and you wanted to, and the degen calls, you wanted them. So we'll bring them. We'll keep them coming, guys. And last thing for today is BasedAI with a huge upgrade. Now you guys can go run. You have to go check out one of these things so you can create your own critter. Now, if any of you guys are devs watching this, please go to BasedAI, get BasedAI X account, follow the GitHub over here, the GitHub repo, and install this thing. And please, people, go run a creature. It's like an AGI. And you can tell it to do anything you want. It's self-learning, has memory. It's insane. Like this is the preview of what's happening on BasedAI. So please, I don't have the technical competency or time to go run one of these. I wish I did. But if you guys are dev, please do. Please let me know in the comments. I want to see what you guys think of these creatures that are now like basically simple forms of AGI running on Based. All right, guys, let's wrap it up today. You guys are awesome. I hope you're excited for the bull run. Let's freaking go. See ya.